I'm Chris Elbert, and today we're playing curveball. Our economy is like a massive city that does have its own struggles within itself, being built on the thin film of a bubble. We are losing our niche in society and fueling our economy with debt. The problem is in our foundation of our nation, and by not trying to fix that problem directly, we're perpetuating our struggles. If we were to save money, we would be much better off. When Bush entered the war, he began increasing government spending enormously while decreasing our revenue. And Obama obviously can't pull out of the war that we've invested in. We are continuing this war, fueling our economy but through unsustainable methods that are driving up our spending higher than ever. Many conservatives hope that the extension of the Bush tax cuts, which were largely directed towards the rich, will provide spending money to stimulate the economy, but many liberals or Democrats see the tax cut extension as detrimental to the economy's growth. Because of the recent recession, many people are tempted to save that money that was meant for spending that could stimulate our economy. Our GDP is shrinking, our deficit has come to an astronomical high, inflation is still nibbling our rears, and an entire political party is favoring tax cuts that mostly apply to the rich. $1.35 trillion were cut in taxes after the 2001 mini-recession. The most concerning thing about the tax cuts is that they were mostly in favor of the upper class. Earned income tax credit policies helped over 15 million working Americans. Bush repealed Clinton's take on EITC, or Earned Income Tax Credit policies. Quote, "If you work hard, play by the rules, you ought to be able to live a decent life." End quote. Bill Clinton. If the things that Clinton were doing worked, then why don't we continue his example? When he came into the office, the economy was in the same shape, with inflation impeding on family incomes, unemployment rates rising, and the job growth slowing greatly. In 2001, the Bush administration's spending policy was made up of tax cuts, expenses for 2 wars. Budgeted spending was around 19.9% of our nation's GDP at the time, and that since then has increased astronomically, as we well know.
The cost of creating substantial healthcare reform as envisioned in the House of Representatives is estimated to be around $100 billion per year for the next 10 years. The cost to continue the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan are projected to be anywhere from $55 to $100 billion per year for an unknown amount of years. As you can see, with decreased revenue and increased spending, both or even one of these programs won't be able to survive.
Welcome to our second segment of the day. Now we'll be debating the state of healthcare with our political commentator, Evan Hubbard. But first, let's review some facts about our healthcare system. Preventable illnesses cause 8 out of 9 leading categories of death. Today in America, we rank 43rd in infant mortality rates, below that of Cuba. 75% of all healthcare dollars are spent on patients with one or more chronic conditions, many of which can be prevented, including diabetes, obesity, heart disease, lung disease, high blood pressure, and cancer. And now let's welcome our guest, Tisha Morales.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tisha. Okay, I want to hear your opinion. Do you think it's okay for nearly 75 million Americans to either not have health insurance or not have enough?
The ones making enough money to pay for their health insurance are the ones that are out there stimulating the economy. I believe that they earn that coverage. We can't afford to feel sorry for the people out there who aren't trying to earn health. Too many of them simply aren't putting effort into improving their situations. If any change comes, then it needs to be to our healthcare system. It should be that people don't throw their money away on a healthcare system that wastes money on people who aren't supporting our country, but expect the government to pay for their medical issues.
I find this absurd. You can say all that you want, that the people who aren't able to afford their insurance have no ethic or education, but the fact of the matter is, most of these Americans are struggling financially, and their labor is the backbone of our economy, and that's the way it plays in all economies. Health insurance is something that saves lives and can dramatically improve the quality of one. I find it hard to understand that you think some Americans don't deserve aid in their situation when insurance companies often rob them of their money or prevent them from getting coverage at all, especially during an economic struggle like this.
Are they really more deserving, though? Think about the people who work hard to maintain their jobs and keep up with bills through their ethics and balance. I don't think they deserve to be covered if they're not trying. Admittedly, the insurance company charge high rates, but they are forced to do so because of the unpaid bills from those people who don't have health insurance.
What are you talking about? Insurance companies aren't left with the unpaid bills by those who don't have insurance. Hospitals are, and that is a factor in why hospitals have to charge more to others for their services. If all Americans have health insurance, the overall cost of treatment will absolutely go down.
But the insurance companies...
Can it? If all Americans have health insurance, less strain will be placed on the system, more people will be healthy, and business will thrive. Evan, shoot us a new topic.
What about the healthy Americans that pay for health insurance but find their money being spent on those who require medical treatment for preventable chronic diseases or emergency surgeries?
Again, we're back to spending healthcare dollars on people who don't try to help themselves. The federal money is not there to be overused, like a cushion for those who repeatedly relapse into unemployment and illness. Being fired a number of times obviously testifies to that person's will to succeed, which fades as they realize they always have that cushion, regardless of their ability to pay the debts. And health problems, if they're not genetic, tend to show the attitude in which that person lives life.
Oh, wow. Well, these people are looking for jobs more now than ever, and employers are often firing people as a result of their need to cut their spending, not because their employees aren't deserving of their job or career. You can get an A for effort on that one, though. Well, I think this about wraps up our time, but I believe I got the last word for the day, so it's okay. This wraps up our session of Curveball. Signing off, I'm Chris Elbert. Stay liberal, North Texas.